Summer 1945. On a Hollywood set, a decorated war hero turned director humiliated America's biggest movie star in front of 50 people. One cruel question. One impossible salute. The star did something he'd never done before in his entire career and would never do again. But what happened when the cameras stopped rolling, and why a fellow actor intervened with 3 words that made the director break down in tears? That's the story nobody talks about. Here is what really happened. MGM Studios, Los Angeles, July 1945. The war is over. 3 months ago, victory in Europe. Japan surrendered weeks ago. America is celebrating. But on stage 12, there's no celebration. They're filming They Were Expendable, a war picture. PT boats in the Philippines, the real story of Motor Torpedo Boat Squadron 3. Wayne stands on set in a Navy officer's uniform. Lieutenant Junior Grade, Rusty Ryan. Fake rank on his shoulders, real guilt in his chest. He's 38 years old, Hollywood's biggest star. Spent the entire war making movies while other men died. Across the set stands John Ford. Eye patch, weathered face, commander's bearing even in civilian clothes. Ford spent the war in the Navy, filmed the Battle of Midway while under fire, was at Omaha Beach on D-Day, came home with the Purple Heart. The credits will say, directed by John Ford, Captain USNR. Wayne's credit will just say his name. No rank, no service. Everyone on set knows it. Assistant director calls out, "Quiet on set, rehearsing the departure scene." This is a simple shot. An admiral is leaving. Wayne's character salutes him. That's it. 30 seconds of film. Wayne raises his hand, tries the salute. Ford watches, says nothing. Wayne drops his hand, waits. "Again," Ford says. Wayne salutes again, sharper this time. Ford shakes his head. "Again." Third attempt. Wayne's jaw tightens. He knows what's coming. Ford stands up from his director's chair, walks closer. His voice carries across the entire soundstage. "Duke, can't you manage a salute that at least looks as though you've been in the service?" The set goes silent. 50 crew members freeze. Grips, gaffers, script supervisor, all of them staring. Wayne's face doesn't change, but his hands curl into fists at his sides. Someone coughs. Nobody moves. Ford isn't finished. Or is that asking too much? Wayne's co-star Robert Montgomery is standing 10 feet away. Montgomery is 41, commanded a PT boat at Guadalcanal, commanded another at Normandy. The uniform he's wearing isn't a costume, he earned it. Montgomery's eyes narrow. He's watched Ford needle Wayne for weeks. Little comments, subtle jabs, always about the war, always about service. But this crosses a line. Wayne still hasn't moved, hasn't spoken. Just standing there in his fake uniform with his fake rank, being humiliated in front of everyone. Ford turns back toward his chair. "Let's break for lunch. We'll try again when someone figures out how to salute." That's when Wayne moves. He doesn't say a word, just walks. Straight across the soundstage, through the side door. Gone. The assistant director looks panicked. "Should someone—" "Leave him," Ford says. But something just happened that's never happened before in Wayne's 20-year career. He walked off set in the middle of a shoot, and nobody knows if he's coming back. Tell me which state you're watching from. Curious where Duke's fans are today. Wayne's car is parked in the studio lot, a black Cadillac. He gets in, starts the engine, drives. He doesn't know where he's going, just away. Away from Ford, away from the uniform, away from the shame. 15 minutes later, he's at the beach, Santa Monica. Parks on the cliff overlooking the Pacific, gets out, stands there, watching the waves. A group of sailors walks past, real ones, young, 19, 20 years old, Navy whites, laughing. Probably just got discharged. War's over. They survived. They don't recognize him, just another man in a suit. Wayne watches them disappear down the beach, feels something twist in his chest. He's John Wayne. He's been in 20 war movies, Flying Tigers, The Fighting Seabees. Millions of people think he's a hero, but he's never worn a real uniform, never fired a real shot, never saw a real enemy. He had reasons, good reasons. 4 kids, family deferment, studio contract. Republic threatened to sue if he enlisted. His wife wouldn't forward the papers when OSS approved him. All true, all valid. But standing here watching those sailors disappear into the California sun, none of it feels like enough. Ford knows it. That's why Ford pushed. Ford knows exactly where it hurts. Wayne gets back in the car, doesn't start the engine, just sits there. An hour passes. He thinks about not going back, just quitting. Let Ford finish the picture with someone else. But that's not who he is. Wayne men don't quit. His grandfather fought in the Civil War, took a bullet at Shiloh, kept fighting. Wayne takes a breath, starts the car, drives back to the studio. By the time Wayne returns, it's 4 p.m. He's been gone 3 hours. The set is empty. Crew's at dinner. Ford's trailer has the lights on. Wayne parks, sits in his car, stares at Ford's trailer. He should go apologize. That's what you do when you walk off set. You apologize to the director. But his feet won't move. Then someone knocks on his window. Robert Montgomery, still in his Navy uniform, commander rank on his shoulders. Real rank. Wayne rolls down the window. "You all right?" Montgomery asks. Wayne looks straight ahead. "I'm fine." "You don't look fine." "I said I'm fine." Montgomery leans against the car, quiet for a moment. "Ford's an asshole." Wayne almost smiles. He's John Ford. He can be both. Silence. Wayne's hands are still on the steering wheel, knuckles white. Montgomery speaks carefully. "What he said in there, that was wrong." "He wasn't wrong though, was he?" Wayne's voice is flat. "I can't salute like someone who served, because I didn't serve." "You had..." "Don't." Wayne cuts him off. "Don't give me reasons. I've got a whole list of reasons. None of them make me feel any better." Montgomery nods, understands. Some wounds don't heal with logic. "You coming back to set?" Montgomery asks. "I don't know." "Ford's in his trailer. Hasn't come out since you left." Wayne looks at him. "What's he doing?" Montgomery shrugs. "Don't know, but I'm about to find out." He walks toward Ford's trailer. Wayne watches him go. Montgomery doesn't knock, just opens the door and walks in. Wayne can't hear what's being said, but he can see shadows moving inside. 2 figures. Montgomery's voice rises, not yelling, but firm. Then silence. Then Montgomery comes back out, walks straight to Wayne's car. "Ford wants to see you." Wayne shakes his head. "I'm not ready." "Doesn't matter, go anyway." Wayne looks at him. "What did you say to him?" Montgomery's jaw is tight. "I told him he doesn't get to dress down a man in front of the troops. That's not leadership. That's cruelty. He's John Ford. He can do whatever he wants. Not on my watch." Montgomery's voice is steel. "You're going in there. He's going to apologize. And tomorrow we're finishing this picture. All of us." Wayne stares at him. This man who actually commanded PT boats, who actually led men into combat, who actually earned every piece of metal on his chest. And he's defending Wayne, the guy who stayed home. "Why are you doing this?" Wayne asks. Montgomery leans down, looks him straight in the eye. "Because Ford was wrong, and because you're beating yourself up enough without him piling on. Now get out of the car." Wayne does. They walk to Ford's trailer together. Montgomery opens the door, waits. Wayne steps inside. Ford is sitting in a chair, face in his hands. Looks up when Wayne enters. His eye, the good one, is red. He's been crying. Wayne has never seen John Ford cry, didn't think it was possible. "Duke." Ford's voice is rough. Wayne doesn't sit, just stands there. "I was out of line," Ford says. "What I said out there in front of everyone, that was wrong." Wayne says nothing. Ford rubs his face. "You know why I pushed you? Because I didn't serve." "No." Ford looks up. "Because I love you like a son, and I wanted you to be perfect. And when you're not, when you're human, I can't handle it. So I lash out." Wayne's throat is tight. "I should have served." "Maybe. I don't know." Ford stands, walks to the window. "I saw boys die, Duke. 19 years old, 20. Good kids. They died and I lived. You think I don't carry that?" Wayne doesn't answer. "We all carry something," Ford says quietly. "You carry not going. I carry coming back. Neither one of us gets to put it down." Silence. Ford turns around. "You walking off today? That hurt. But I deserved it. I've never walked off a set before. I know." Ford almost smiles. "That's how I knew I really screwed up." Wayne finally sits. His legs feel heavy. "We finishing this picture?" Ford asks. Wayne nods. "Yeah, we're finishing it." Ford extends his hand. Wayne shakes it. Neither of them says, "I'm sorry." Neither of them needs to. The next morning, Wayne is on set at 6 a.m., first one there. Montgomery arrives 20 minutes later, sees Wayne standing by the PT boat prop. "You good?" Montgomery asks. "I'm good." Ford arrives at 7, walks straight to Wayne. No jokes, no needling. "Ready to work?" "Ready." They film the salute scene. Wayne does it perfectly. One take. Ford doesn't say anything, just nods, moves on to the next setup. The rest of the shoot is professional, quiet. Ford doesn't push. Wayne doesn't break. They finish They Were Expendable in September 1945. The film opens to strong reviews. Box office is modest. People are tired of war stories. But critics call it one of Ford's finest. Wayne and Ford will make 9 more films together over the next 18 years. Red River, She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, The Quiet Man, The Searchers. They'll fight, they'll drink, they'll argue about politics. But Ford never questions Wayne's service again, and Wayne never walks off set again. August 31st, 1973. John Ford dies at age 79 in Palm Desert, California. Wayne attends the funeral, cries openly, stands at the grave long after everyone else leaves. A reporter asks him later, "What was your relationship with Ford really like?" Wayne thinks for a long time. "Complicated. He was hard on me, harder than anyone else, but he made me better." June 11, 1979. Wayne dies at UCLA Medical Center. Cancer. 6 years after Ford. His widow, Pilar, writes a memoir years later. In it, she addresses the question everyone always asked: why didn't John Wayne serve in World War II? Her answer is simple and devastating. He would become a super patriot for the rest of his life, trying to atone for staying home. Biographers who studied Wayne's life for decades came to the same conclusion. One wrote, "By many accounts, his failure to serve in the military was the most painful experience of his life. Not his 3 divorces, not his battles with cancer, not his controversial politics, his failure to serve. That's what haunted him. That's what Ford knew when he twisted the knife on the set of They Were Expendable. That's what made Wayne walk off for the only time in his career. And that's what made Robert Montgomery, a real veteran, step in and say, 'Don't ever talk to Duke like that.' Because Montgomery understood something Ford had forgotten in his anger. Wayne was already punishing himself more than anyone else ever could. The salute scene made it into the final film, 30 seconds. Wayne's character salutes the Admiral. Perfect form, military precision. Audiences watching it in 1945 had no idea what it cost to get that shot. One take, one perfect salute, from a man who spent the rest of his life wishing he'd earned the right to do it for real. A Hollywood legend walked off set for the only time in his career after a decorated war hero publicly shamed him. But what broke that director down in tears, and what Wayne's widow revealed about the guilt he carried to his grave, shows that the hardest battles aren't always fought on a battlefield. Sometimes they're fought inside a man's own heart. And by the way, most people watch and move on. These stories are meant to be remembered. If that matters to you, you know what to do. What's something you carry that others can't see? Tell us in the comments. And unfortunately, they don't make men like John Wayne anymore.